Alright, this is John Cola with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, coming at you from my beautiful backyard garden here. And I guess we're getting into April here, and it's time for me to start planting my summer crops. As you guys can see, my winter crops, I got the lettuce interplanted with my garlic, and over on this side we got lots of bolting flowers that I've been eating lately. They are amazing. It's my Mizuna, nice mild, tender mustard greens to eat. In this episode, I'll be doing a Q&A. I'll be answering your guys' questions. You know, I have over 1 million followers on my different, social media outlets, so I don't take questions directly, but if you do have a question you would like to ask me, I'll post a link in the description to my community tab on YouTube where you can post a question there that may get selected for next month's Q&A. The other thing I want to share with you guys is that this is my 28th year living on a raw vegan diet. I started it back in 1995. These days I eat a small percentage of heat processed food only made in the Instant Pot. If you guys want to learn more about that, link down below to my video why I started including some heat processed food and the main reasons for diversity of my diet and to eat more vegetables. All right, so let's get into today's questions. All right, first question is from Nathaniel Sasso. Hi, what do you recommend for the best water filtration system? What is the specific model you use? Can you please update us on what to do other than coconuts? I live in NYC and am very concerned about how to have the best water possible. Thank you. All right, so these days, my goal, like I've said in the past, is to basically not drink water, but to get my hydration through fruits and vegetables, right? And even coconut water secondarily. So like this morning, I drank 32 ounces of straight romaine lettuce juice. I then had probably about another 24 ounces of straight pomegranate fresh juice that I pressed out with some sugarcane juice in it. In addition, I've also had already 3 sumo tangerines, which is good for hydration as well. And if you guys are eating lots of especially watery fruits and even watery vegetables, you can get a lot of hydration for your food so that you may not need to even drink that much water. That being said, I do drink some water. The water I drink is actually from Romania. It's Cularvia Q18 if you guys want to look that up. It's a special water. It's fractionally distilled and it has low deuterium content. That is the reason why I drink it. That water is not, or any water like that is not really available or made in the USA. However, at my house, what I do have when I do cook in the Instant Pot, I do use some water. And in that case, I will use reverse osmosis water. And I use a reverse osmosis system I just got from Costco in warehouse. I think it's the Watts, W-A-T-T-S is the brand. I trust that brand. Now, if I was going to drink the water, because normally I only cook without water, I would use a reverse osmosis system first, that Watts brand, then I basically put it through an inexpensive water distiller that I got on Amazon, and then I would drink it. But that being said, I only drink the Q18 Cularvia water these days. However, for you guys that are out there and want the purest water, I'd recommend a combination of 1 or 2, at least minimal reverse osmosis, and if you're more hardcore, do the distillation. Those are the best. We just want to get the pure water, and we don't want the minerals with our water, in my personal opinion. If you guys want minerals in your water, then, drink some fresh vegetable juice where you're going to have minerals in the plant available form that's going to be better absorbed by us than, the minerals in water. I also do drink coconut water sometimes, but I've really slacked off on the coconut water in favor of leaf juices, such as the romaine leaf juice that I love to drink so much, as well as drinking other fresh juices on a regular basis. On any average day, I'll drink from maybe 2 quarts to 3 quarts of fresh juice in a day, and that always varies. They're usually generally vegetable based. I have a whole YouTube channel, Discount Juicers, where I show all the different recipes I make and share with you guys how to make up your own recipes for juices. I do recommend hydration through juicing, over drinking water personally, because if you're gonna just need to get hydrated, you might as well hydrate with, in addition to the water. You could have structured water when you're drinking plant water. In addition, you're also gonna get vitamins, minerals, and more importantly, those valuable phytochemicals that I believe in so much. The next question is from Los Angeles Edible Garden. What are the best sugar plant substitutes to grow? I know there is stevia plant, sugarcane plant, and sapodilla tree. but was wondering if you know others. So when you ask for sugar plant substitutes, usually that infers that you want something without sugar that tastes like sugar. So in that case, I'd say stevia, and then you want to look up another one called, is it like Mexican sweet herb, I believe is the name of the plant. Or no, Aztec sweet herb, that's what it is. Aztec sweet herb. I believe that has another weird kind of, it's like a stevia plant, but it's not. These are true sugar substitutes that don't have a lot of sugar in them. When you say sugarcane plant, I mean, that's just basically another way of growing your own sugar, because you could juice it and make, you know, dehydrate the juice and make your own sugar. And there's plenty of other fruits that if you freeze dry and you powder could be a replacement for sugar. So I mean, dates, you could grow dates. They make date sugar these days. You guys can buy pre-made. Another thing I like to do is if you just freeze dry bananas, or you just go to Trader Joe's and buy freeze dried banana slices, put them in the blender, vacuum blender, grind them up into a powder, and to me that stuff tastes sweet as sugar, but it's just 100% bananas. So, you know, I want to encourage you guys not to basically eat white refined sugar or even other refined sugars, and instead eat dried fruit powders. Instead, they're so much better. So I hope that helps you out. So the next question is from Miguel Lozano. Hey John, I know you love your greens, but are there any greens in particular that you either don't like and tend to stay away from? So I mean, I will eat all the greens. That being said, there's some greens I don't particularly care for, and actually they're high oxalate greens. Like I just don't like, it's not like, oh, I want to eat these. Like, so if I grow like New Zealand spinach, which grows really well for me, you know, I don't tend to eat a lot of those because they kind of have like a weird, funny oxalate flavor. I don't eat a lot of Swiss chard. I don't particularly care for Swiss chard. I don't know if it's because the oxalates, I'm naturally not drawn to eat them. I will eat them and even juice them sometimes, but it's more rare. Spinach, it's rare that I buy like baby spinach like at a grocery store. Like many people buy the little tubs of 1 pound organic baby spinach. It's rare you'll find me do that because I really don't like how like chalky and kind of the taste in my mouth and the texture of those leaves. That being said, if I grow my own spinach, I love that stuff because it's so sweet, so crunchy, so tender, and just a whole different vegetable when I grow it myself versus store-bought. Another green that you may be surprised to hear that I don't like is actually just standard spring mix. I have a disdain for the standard spring mix that I know many of you guys buy, because to me it's just like, it's like mush. It's like soft, it just mushes in your mouth. I like some crunch. I'd rather eat some romaine with the crisp, you know, stems, or like some bok choy that's really crisp, than like just mush, you know, spring mix that's probably usually has some bad leaves that you got to pick out. I hate that the worst. And of course, this time of year I have so many fresh greens in my garden. I don't even buy any greens. It'd be a waste to like not eat all my tender young baby greens. And actually I probably need to start dehydrating some of them so I'll have them in the summer. So yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you. If they're oxalate greens, I mean, I will eat them, but definitely not a ton. Or like baby spinach and baby spring mix, which I know a lot of you guys get. If you guys are looking for some baby vegetables, you know, like in a tub, I actually prefer the baby arugula. That's my favorite. I think the Sprouts usually sells those. Sprouts Farmers Market. The next question is from Oth. Have you noticed any difference in the longevity shelf life of produce that was soil grown compared to produce that was hydroponic grown? Cheers. All right, Oth, so I have noticed the difference between my homegrown versus industrial grown, whether organic or not. Definitely, for sure, my homegrown stuff always lasts longer. For a few reasons, probably because I'm using more minerals in it. I'm picking it when it's at its, you know, perfect ripeness. In addition, I haven't done any post-harvest treatments to it, like, you know, blast it in a fridge or keep it cold or anything. I keep things at the right temperature so they last longer. Plus, it already hasn't been in, you know, commercial trade shipping and all these things where it has to get transferred from warehouse to truck. And, you know, when you start doing that to, you know, the food, they don't last as well. So what I will say for hydroponic versus soil grown, I will say hydroponically grown plants that still have the roots on them. So like the living lettuce or living herbs that you could buy that are still alive, like those have incredible shelf life. They'll beat anything soil grown. Matter of fact, sometimes I even take those and then actually plant them in my garden and then grow them even further. That being said, the only other plants that I may buy is like maybe tomatoes that are hydroponic, cucumbers and peppers that are hydroponically grown. You know, generally, like cucumbers are not good storage. You know, foods, they usually expire relatively quickly. I've had good luck with hydroponically grown tomatoes, like outside the fridge, provided they haven't been already cold damaged by the time you get them. Like I could get those to last a month. The peppers, if I store them about 50 degrees, I could get them to last about a month, you know, without going bad, provided they're fresh when I get them. If they're hydroponic. I think the other thing besides whether it's hydroponic grown or soil grown is that are they contaminated with like bacteria that are going to cause them to mold. So sometimes if I'm super anal, I'll take like a microfiber silver impregnated cloth and I'll just wipe the produce down before I store it. And I do find that if I store it in that way, things will last longer because it's not going to have the mold or the growth or whatever bacteria on it to, you know, to grow and cause the produce to go bad. So that's what I'll say to that. All right, so the next question is from user 97. She has several questions, I think having to do with if I was trying to get pregnant with my partner, what would I have my partner eat or drink, if it'd be juices or foods, and what supplements would I take? And she also asks, could you recommend a resveratrol supplement or a company you would trust? I was recommended by my MD for fertility. I'm so overwhelmed with the options. Which kind is best absorbed? If it's third-party tested, etc. Thank you for all you do, John. Your work is inspiration. I am now using the vacuum pump on my juices. So first question is like, would I, if I had a wife and I was trying to get pregnant, which I'm single and I'm looking for a partner that wants to have kids, how would I feed them? So I would just feed them a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet, mostly raw, focusing on a lot of vegetables and especially leafy green vegetables. I would also get her blood tested, her microbiome tested. I mean, she's gonna have a nice time because I'm gonna get all the tests for her and make sure she's dialed in and as healthy as possible for the child that we will have. Let's see, and then the supplements, like I want to see her blood test and her results to see what she needed, if anything. I would likely start to just immediately give her like some DHA, EPA for sure, because that's like super important. And of course, I'd be sure she'd eating a lot of rich vitamin and phytonutrient and mineral rich foods, including things like seaweed, not too much, and a lot of my, of course, homegrown greens as well. And I would really want her to have a really nice microbiome because that will get transferred to the child. And I'd want to make sure that, you know, she's eating the right things to make, you know, nice amounts of milk to feed the child. And then you asked about a resveratrol supplement. Like the companies I trust generally are far and few in between. I will generally trust these days like Life Extension. That brand I think is pretty solid overall. And then the Now Foods, while they may seem generic, you know, they've actually done third-party testing where they send like CoQ10. They'll buy it a bunch off Amazon. They'll send theirs in plus a whole bunch they bought on Amazon and send it in for like testing to see if what the Amazon seller claims is in there is really in there. And the results were shocking. A lot of those cheap supplements you buy on Amazon are fake. They may not even have what they say in there, and Amazon is not regulating them. So I would avoid buying from Amazon your supplements. I would, you know, maybe look more towards, you know, websites like iHerb maybe, but even better yet, you know, just go with a brand that you could trust. I mean, I could trust Life Extension and Now Foods at this time. Other than that, I'd have to look and see what specific product. I mean, for the resveratrol, I would try to get a product with like Japanese knotweed and also some kind of like grape extract. That being said, I'd also encourage you to eat foods that are high in resveratrol instead of getting an extract as well. I think that can be quite beneficial because there's more than just the resveratrol in the foods that make it beneficial. So like, you know, I've been trying to grow Japanese knotweed forever because I'd love to just grow it and eat it. Of course, I eat lots of grapes. I always buy the black grapes. And I also have drunk in the past like de-alcoholized like dark wine, like red wine, which I really didn't like. And I also, of course, do like the balsamic vinegar, which is made from grapes. Next question is from Emily Berry. What do you think of Barukas nuts? I like them a little for taste and nutrition. However, I'm concerned about roasting and AGEs. Also, they are touted as a high antioxidant nut legume, but would roasting diminish the antioxidants? All right, Emily. So, you know, when I first tried Barukas nuts at the trade show, I saw the data and the testing comparing the antioxidant activity of the Barukas nuts as they had in the package. So they were already roasted. So despite being roasted, they still have high antioxidant content. That being said, I also am concerned about the roasting. You know, it's one of the rare foods that I eat that is roasted. I pretty much avoid other roasted foods. So, you know, I think if it's like the only thing you're eating that's roasted and you eat them like maybe once a week, I might eat them once or twice a month, 3 times a month, maybe if I'm lucky. I rarely eat them. But, you know, once again, my goal is to, you know, have a more well-rounded diet and eat more of a diversity of foods. They are more of a legumish style nut than a real nut. They kind of taste like peanuts if you've never had them, you know, and like if you're eating them a little bit, I wouldn't really worry about it. You know, most of the nuts I eat are actually absolutely raw, and I even have to like shell them myself because they still come in the shell. So yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you. So the next question is from Miguel Lozano. Hey John, another question. In a time where it seems like all men care about in this world is testosterone and being manly, do you have any insight on how to maintain testosterone levels? And if you don't mind, can you share your levels as well? All right, Miguel, so I know my levels were actually above the reference range, a little bit high, for better or for worse. You know, I don't necessarily want them that high personally. If you want to know the numbers, link down below to my video where I spent $1,100 on blood tests, and I did test my testosterone, and I share my numbers in that test as well as the reference range. But yeah, I mean, it's high. So like, what do I do to make that happen? I don't do anything special, honestly, to get high testosterone numbers. I just eat a healthy plant-based diet, you know, with nuts and seeds. I don't like, you know, like not include nuts and seeds like some people don't eat overt fats. I eat enough calories. I eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and different, you know, other heat processed plant foods, and my testosterone levels are high. You know, some of the other vegan people, influencers that I've seen online share their blood tests. You know, some of their testosterones are pretty high too for not even eating any meat. So I don't really know about all that stuff, but I'm gonna just say, get yours tested and see. Like, if I was, I mean, I really don't even want to be extra high on my testosterone, man. Like, I don't really think that's, I mean, actually, for her, I want to have the appropriate level of testosterone. I don't want to be high, actually. So, you know, I think that, like, this whole manly, equating manly to having more testosterone is, like, really stupid, personally. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. And if guys want to just think that they're manly because they're testosterone and they're eating all this meat or whatever, actually, I think some studies show that eating too much meat make your testosterone go down. So, yeah, I don't eat any and it's mind high, so that's all I can say to that because I haven't really studied that topic. All right, next question is from Sidewalk Chemistry. What enabled you to start connecting to local farms, gardeners, health experts, etc.? I want to reach out more to those nearby me, but I don't know always how to go about it. All right, Sidewalk Chemistry. So, I mean, nothing enabled me to do that. I mean, I want to buy local food, so I go to the local farms, right? And then I ask at the local farms, like, hey, can I talk to the farmer to ask them questions about how they grow the food and the process they use? Then I just talk to them and, you know, sometimes I'll explain who I am and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll know who I am, you know, because they already watch me. And so I don't know, I'm just really curious by nature. So I just, you know, I would say start up a conversation with them with a topic that you both have an interest in, or if you're trying to like learn more about their farming, their farm or their garden, you know, just talk to them. I go to like different, you know, meetings for gardeners in the local area, and they have different swaps where they have plant swaps. I'll go there and then just, you know, sometimes set a booth up and sell plant starts or whatever, and then, you know, meet people and talk to them there, or maybe I'll just buy plant starts, right? If they have like a local health expo where they invite a lot of people in, I'll just go to that expo and just go around to the different booths and talk to people, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel like anything enabled me to start to talk to farmers or gardens. I just started doing it, you know, because I want to learn what they're doing. And, you know, especially if somebody has a YouTube channel, I try to reach out to them and like, hey, man, like there's a guy, Derek, he's cool. I love Derek. You know, I reached out to him, hey, Derek, man, I'd love to come over and see your garden and make a video about it. You know, maybe that's a good way to reach out to people, is have a YouTube channel and tell them that you want to share their story. You want to learn more about them and promote them, you know, so that more people could know about the important work that they're doing. I mean, everybody wants to feel important. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Next question is from Alan Papillion. John, how do you keep water from getting into the void system's vacuum lid? I notice when I clean it, it takes in some fluid. Is it better to just wipe it off with a damp cloth? And yes, the adapter for the Vitamix is way better than the BioChef, but I wonder how long it will last if I can't keep liquid out of the vacuum. All right, Alan, so what I'll tell you is that you really can't keep water from getting into the void system's vacuum lid. This is a challenge I had when I originally got it. Originally, they had like a cover on that, so you couldn't really even clean out that area since they've removed that at my request, partly. And I mean, they encourage you guys, if you guys do get some junk in there, to put liquid through it and then turn it on and run it. I mean, it has been designed to pump water through that vacuum pump without damaging it, right? Unlike the BioChef where I wouldn't be pumping water through that one, it probably will damage it. And I pump water through it like almost every time I use it. I'll just turn it on and pump water through it, or some water gets in there. And I mean, that's one of the downsides of it, you know. I haven't found a way to easily clear out the water that's stuck inside there, because the next time you turn it on, you'll get like some water coming out of it for the first little bit until it pumps all that water out. Then it's just basically pumping straight air out so that it'll work again, you know. Yeah, so I don't really know. I just keep it a little bit wet and try to dry it out. I guess you could try to take an air compressor and blow it out a little bit if you're super anal, but I haven't even done that. I mean, and it works great for me. So that's what I'll say. Next question is from Josh C. Do you have any suggestions for what one may do to curb their appetite while transitioning to raw? Are there any special hacks that you discovered on your journey? All right, Josh, so I'm not sure what you mean by curb your appetite. Are you like, just feel like you need to eat everything because you're still so hungry? I mean, we've all felt that during transitioning to raw, because you face it, you're eating less calories than you used to, and your body's really craving more calorie-dense foods that lights up your brain, that makes you feel happy and stuff. So another thing I've thought is that maybe, you know, there's a nutrient imbalance. So, you know, curb appetite, I don't know if that's the right word, because what, you're just trying to like juice fast and not eat any food at all? Like, I don't really know what you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and take it from the point that you're just always feeling hungry and you want to always continually eat because your body's going through some changes. So what I'll say to that is I'll say you want to fill up, right? So, I mean, fruits and vegetables, it's hard to feel full on them because they're high water content. So I'd say fill up on maybe something else, maybe some oatmeal. Like I get sprouted and glyphosate tested organic oats, and you could just make an oatmeal. I find when I use like an instant oats, like just soak the oats with water under vacuum for 4 hours, and then just cut up some bananas, put some berries in there, maybe some nuts and seeds, different like cinnamon, spices, some fiber powders, and I eat it. Like I could be good for 4 hours and I really don't feel like eating anything. So maybe you just need to kind of get something more solid in your stomach than just simply fruits and vegetables. I mean, maybe your body is craving some minerals or something. So like that's when I'd recommend maybe try to eat some dulse with some avocado, right? That may satisfy you a little more than just like some watery fruits would. I don't know exactly what you're going through, but I'm gonna say do the shotgun approach, man. Just try drinking a lot of juice until you're full, and then see if that suppresses your appetite, or try that oatmeal thing, try the dulse and the seaweed. Maybe try eating some extra, you know, nuts, but not too many nuts and seeds. Eat some extra dried fruit. I don't know, see what works for you the best. I mean, I don't really know. So that's what I'll tell you. Let's see, next question is from Justin McLaughlin. Skincare, exercise, what times do you eat? How hungry do you let yourself get before you eat? Sleep routine, stress relief. All right, Justin, so skincare, honestly, I'm a guy, I don't really do much. I use Dr. Ohhira's probiotic soap, like actually on my whole body, on my face, my head, like my whole body. That's the soap I use. I mean, it's designed for the face, but I use it everywhere. I don't really use a shampoo or anything like that. And then the other thing I do is I do a buff on my face with I don't know, I think it's a makeup remover pad. I don't know what they are. But I'll put a link down below to my skin video where I really go into detail on my skin video. And it's more than just what I do, it's also what I eat that makes my skin so nice, in my opinion. Staying hydrated also with juices is super important. And then I put on like jojoba oil on my skin to give it a nice coating because I have a dry skin type. Sometimes I'll put the jojoba oil in my hair to hold it in place, and then people will say, John, your hair always looks so greasy. Wash your hair. Well, it's because I wash my hair, and then I put jojoba oil in it to hold it in place so that it doesn't blow away in the wind, so I could kind of style it, because I don't use any kind of gels or stylers or any kind of these things like that. Exercise, I get, daily exercise, minimally going, taking my dog for a walk. I do a lot of work around here, like picking up bins, 5-gallon buckets of water and composting them and carrying cases of produce. I don't have any formal weight training You know, myself, I like to go out for bike rides. I'll be getting on that since like we're getting into the spring. The weather's getting nicer. I like to do more aerobic activity. I'll, you know, just walk around. I do a lot of walking, you know, mainly. But yeah, I could use some more aerobic activity for sure. And I like hiking, of course, getting out to nature. What times do you eat? So I have no preset times. When I wake up in the morning, generally right when I wake up, I like to try to eat, you know, fairly soon after. And then I just go with my hunger. So right now I'm feeling super hungry. So after this video, I'm going to be, you know, eating something. Right before this video, I actually drank pomegranate sugarcane juice. And so like I don't have set eating times, although I do try to stop eating by 8 o'clock is my goal. I reach that many times, but sometimes I eat a little bit later than that, which I really don't want to do, but I get in my own way. Let's see, how hungry do you let yourself get before you eat? So, you know, if I'm feeling hungry and you feel hungry like in your mouth, like I feel hungry in my mouth, in my throat, not my stomach. And so if I'm feeling a bit hungry, you know, I gotta finish whatever I'm doing, like for job-wise, for work, or for gardening. So I'll let the hunger build up a little bit, and then I'll eat, you know. Sometimes if I'm out on the road, shopping or doing whatever out, you know, sometimes I'll have to wait a bit longer, and if I'm really hungry, I'll stop and just buy some blueberries or buy some fruit to eat, you know, so I don't have to go home and eat. I'll just have a fruit snack or something like that. So, you know, that's probably what I'm gonna say for that. And then my sleep routine, my goal these days is by 10 o'clock, when it rolls around at 10 o'clock, I try to start doing my evening routine, which is then I brush my teeth, floss my teeth, I'll use a water pick on my teeth, I'll also take a shower, drink some water, and take my supplements, and then I go to bed. So my goal is to be in bed by 11. You know, that always doesn't happen exactly, but I try to do the best I can, and then I go to sleep when I go to sleep, and then I wake up without an alarm clock. And that ranges in time, depending on when I went to bed, anywhere from, you know, 6 to 9 a.m. Today, like I woke up early and then I went back to bed and finally woke up at like right around a little bit before 9 a.m. So yeah, that's what I do on the sleep. For stress relief, you know, I just come out to the garden. I take walks, pet my dog, kiss my dog. Like that's stress relief for me. Watch some TV, watch some Netflix. I also do this thing called the Avicen machine that really is kind of like relax me, put me in a parasympathetic mode. So yeah, that's probably what I'll say. Next question is from Lynn Silu 2. I'd like to know what you use to wash your hair, please, John. Thanks. So, I mean, just like I said in the previous one, I basically use a Dr. O'Hare's probiotic soap. I'm a guy, I don't really use any special kind of soap. If I was a girl, and I had long hair, maybe I'd use some natural conditioner. I did get some, like, I don't know, like natural brand of shampoo and conditioner that I rarely use. So yeah, I mean, it's just on random occasion, but I don't remember the brand. It's maybe Earth Science or something, I don't know. Earth Therapeutics. I don't really pay attention. These things are not super important, but I'd get something at the health food store and make sure it didn't have all these crazy chemicals, and I'd look it up on the ewg.org website. They have a whole cosmetics database to see how toxic your personal care products are. Next question is from David White. I live in Garden Grove, California, and my wife is a so Vietnamese. We regularly eat tons of extremely strange Vietnamese herbs and veggies. Do you know if any of them are healthy or even toxic or bad for you? All right, David. So, you know, what I'm going to say is that actually I love some of the Vietnamese veggies. I don't know them all. I grow a few of them here, and some of them have some really strange flavors. And I believe that if they're eating them in their traditional ways, they're probably healthy for you. Of course, you could be allergic to anything because there's different plant nutrients in every food. And if it's not prepared properly, then it can be actually quite toxic. But if your wife knows about these things and her culture has been eating these forever, yeah, eat more of them, man. They're probably good for you. You're going to be healthier than the standard American guy that is not eating these Vietnamese vegetables and herbs that that you have the privilege to enjoy because of your wife. And yeah, I look forward to learning more about some of these different, you know, odd herbs and greens that are grown in other parts of the world, not just Vietnam, that I try to grow here in my garden so that I can have a, you know, greater diversity of plant foods with different plant phytonutrients. So yeah, I'm definitely not the expert on that one. But yeah, hope my answer helped you out a little bit. Feel more comfortable with about some of the more different things that your wife feeds you. Just feel that you're blessed, man, that you're getting to eat some really nutritious foods that are really cultural based, because we don't really have a strong food culture here in America other than hot dogs and hamburgers, which I can tell you, they ain't healthy, all right? So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys enjoyed this episode and the Q&A today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and more importantly, share this with other people that are eating a whole food plant-based raw diet that can benefit from the answers I've shared with you guys today. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new and upcoming episodes. I've come out every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bells to get notified as many videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are wealth of knowledge. Over 600 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to teach you guys all about how to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables and be healthier because of it. So with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best.